Hello everybody, it's me and Milesy here in the Vape Loft. Very excited today, aren't we, Milesy? Because it's one of the most exciting things that's ever happened to us, isn't it, Milesy? We got this incredible new little vaporizer from the Storm line of vapes, the Sapphire by Storm. And I am so excited about this for a number of reasons. It's just a great little vaporizer. Really nice and small, perfect little pocket-sized vape. Check this out, it's got a lovely feel to it and look. Some of you may remember the Spirit, which is a hugely successful vape in the same brand, and it's very similar to that. In fact, almost looks the same. The difference is this is smaller, it's simpler. Has a lot of the same features like the fantastic ceramic chamber and ceramic zirconia cooling mouthpiece. But what this one has, which the Spirit doesn't have, is an incredible price point at the amazing price of £55. And that's why it was such a hit when we filmed our best portable vapes of 2019 video just a couple of months ago. So I think this is the ideal vaporizer for people who are starting with vapes. Just a great entry point into dry herb vaporizers, and one that you can rely on as well because it comes with a full 1-year warranty, and it's just got that reliability and solid build quality that the Spirit has and the Storm vaporizer pen before it. So, you know, I'm well into this. I'm going to show you how it works. It's really simple. It's just got 5 temperature settings, preset temperature settings. So there's no digital control on this, but you've got temperatures going from 180 degrees up to 220 degrees at the top. You just turn it on by pushing the button 3 times, and then if you want to change the settings, you just hold down the button and it will cycle through the different heat settings there. I'm going to put it on the top setting because I really want to show you what this can do. Now I'm grinding up some of this lovely Canico lemon haze hemp flowers in my Santa Cruz shredder, and you can just, one of the great things about the Sapphire is how easy it is to load with herbs on the go, because it's got this nicely kind of swooping entrance to the chamber. So if you've got a grinder or some kind of herb container, then you can just tip it straight in like this and load the herbs straight into the chamber like that. It just naturally just falls straight in there. You can already see the steam and vapor starting to come off it, and you can just load that right up to the top. You don't have to pack it down, just, you know, moderately ground and fill to the brim. And then you've got a few options really. You can go with the standard mouthpiece, which is there straight in the packet ready to go. Just fold out the mouthpiece like that and take a lovely hit. With the Sapphire, unlike the Spirit, the battery is fixed, so you can't swap it out, but it still gives an impressive amount of vaping time, up to 1.5 hours on the lowest setting, down to about 20 minutes on the highest setting. And it's compatible with power banks. You can see that I can take quite a big rip there, even though it's on setting 5, which is 220 degrees Celsius. You can take quite a long draw, really fill up your lungs. But because of this zirconia mouthpiece, the vapor is cooling as it goes through the mouthpiece. So once it's hit my mouth, it's already pretty cool. So even though you're getting that big solid cloud, a really nice dense rip, you're not getting too much dryness and harshness in your throat, and you get a really nice clean flavor, because unlike a lot of other small vaporizers, the chamber is right there underneath the mouthpiece, so the vapor doesn't have far to travel. It's just going straight up there and straight into the mouthpiece. I'm going to take another little rip there. Massive rips there straight away on that setting 5. It's really nice. One thing that I've noticed from playing about with this is that you can see the airflow holes here on either side, and it's just kind of a little hack that I like to do. You can actually adjust the kind of the restriction as you inhale by just covering one side. So sometimes I'll just put my finger over it while I'm hitting it, and it just means you can either make your vapor kind of a bit more airy and a bit fresher, or if you cover it with one side or even both sides a little bit, then you kind of make it a bit more dense and a bit of a stronger, denser cloud. So that's quite nice. It's not really intentional, but it's a great little facility that you can have if you want to. Now there's other options too. You don't just have to go with the standard mouthpiece. There's a couple of alternative mouthpieces that you can get as add-ons for the Spirit. So we've got here the glass mouthpiece. This is a great little option. It's just as straight, it's the same base as the normal mouthpiece. As you'll see, there's a slight improvement on the original Spirit mouthpiece for anyone who had a Spirit, just a bit more airflow there, and it's got this ceramic filter that again is cooling the vapor and stopping any particles obviously going up into the air path. But then on the other side, instead of the cooling zirconia mouthpiece, you've got a pure glass tube, which, you know, obviously it's going to be a bit harsher on the throat because you don't have the cooling effect of the zirconia, but it does mean you get just a little bit more flavour, and it's more of a kind of an exhaust pipe, big tube. So for people who really like to rip it and don't care so much about the harshness on the throat, you know, maybe ex-smokers or people who are trying to convert from smoking to vaping, I think they're going to really like this because you really do get a hell of a hit from this. The Sapphire has 5 preset temperature settings that go up to 220 degrees. You can also vape resins if you buy the resin capsule sold separately. A real monster. Kind of reminds me of the Splinter at this temperature with this mouthpiece on, because you've got that similar sort of tube mouthpiece and you're getting these ridiculous rips. Very, very powerful. Much more powerful than you'd expect from a vaporizer that is only £55. It's an incredible value for money. And the other option is the water adapter. Again, it's a very similar thing, you know, same base, but then it's got the 14mm tapered water adapter there. So this pairs beautifully with something like the Bubble. Now check this out, a dual chamber bubbler from EasyFlow. It's a really nice bubbler, and a tiny little pocket-sized vaporizer like this that only costs you £55 with a small amount of ground hemp in there. Check out what this can do. Just these ridiculous rips, like non-stop cloud machine basically in your pocket. You bring this round to your mate's house, get out the glassware and start chucking out these ridiculous clouds. It's fantastic. I'm so impressed with this. The value for money you get from this, it's almost like a all-in-one little pocket rocket. It's just a fantastic device. I'm going to go in for another hit. Totally clouding out the house here at the Vape Loft. It's a monstrous session with this little Sapphire. And you'll see just how powerful this beast is when I empty out some of the herb. Just going to tip it out on top of this box here so you can see that is really getting very, very dark indeed. You're getting a very good extraction there on the herb. A little bit lighter on the very top layer, but the rest of it, as you can see, is really very, very evenly vaped, all to this nice, rich, dark brown mahogany colour. And that's just from a few big rips on setting 5 there on the Sapphire. And that's with herb, but obviously you've also got the option, straight in the kit with all the rest of your accessories, is a bag of 3 concentrate pads. So these are great little things. You just pop this straight into the chamber there and push it down so that the base is right down against the bottom of the chamber. And then I've got some of this lovely CBD head stash crumble. This is from all of the various terp profiles that Synergy Extracts use when they're creating their incredible terp crystals. And this is actually then recrystallized into its own crystal. It is actually more of a crystal, not a crumble, as I said. But look, I'm going to take this chunk here. It's just a lovely colour, this stuff, and the flavour from it is unbelievable. So you just drop that straight onto the concentrate pad, and I'm going to turn this back on and make sure it's on the top setting. So what you want to do with this, really, it's ideally used, you know, either with the standard mouthpiece, but once the concentrate is soaked into the pad a bit, then you'll also get great rips through the bubbler too. So check this out. Really coming through now. It's so fresh and it's just filling up my brain. It's incredibly tasty. You're really just getting that pure flavour through there. I'm going to throw in a little bit more and let that melt in before I see how this works. To be honest with you, it's going to be the first time that I'm trying it upside down in a rig. But you can see the crystal, it's just immediately melted away in the sort of millisecond that it took for me to move the phone over so you could see it. But check this out, here we go. We're going to try a little rip through this bubbler. Oh my god, it's insane. Like, wow, I've got so much flavour in my head right now, I can't even think. That is phenomenal. And all in one device, to have the herbal hits, the concentrates, and, you know, be able to use it through water like that, and for it to keep up with that. Now there are vaporizers, very high ticket vaporizers. I'm talking about U-packs that are phenomenal devices, but when you plug them into a bubbler, they just don't quite stack up. It's something about the way the airflow flows through the device. This is great as a little pocket vape with a standard mouthpiece, but when you whack it in a bubbler, it really keeps up. I mean, it could go toe to toe with a lot of plug-in vapes, and I'm being absolutely 100% honest with you there. It's crazy. So you've got to check this out. For the person who has never bought a vape because the good ones are really expensive and they haven't got the money to spend on a good one, or the person who just doesn't believe that vaping is for them and they're going to carry on smoking, now here's a really first-class device that is coming in well under £100 at £55. Just an astonishing value for money proposition. I'm so proud of this. You've got to check it out. Go and take a look at vapefiend.co.uk and see for yourself. The Sapphire is a total revolution. You're going to love it.